Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the weather update. It's a hot one out there. It's 3 p.m., July 12th, 2020, and it's 89 degrees at Farmingdale, almost 90. But the dew point is lower at 63. A decent amount of clouds around, just, the cumulus of variety that are around. We'll look at some of the observations here. Ice slip as well. 84, though, it's cooler there. It looks like there is a sea breeze. Southwest of 14, gusting to 23, so looks like further out east there is a sea breeze out there that is developing. So let's look at the current conditions map. Here we go. So you can see pretty strong winds out there, though. It's breezy, but you can see most of the islands in the upper 80s, near 90 in the western part. Out east, though, it's a little cooler with temperatures in the mid 80s. We'll put the dew points in here, and you'll see the dew points are lower, so it is drier. Dew points are in the mid 60s, which is not great, but it's better than the mid 70s, which is what we were dealing with. Looking at Toms River and New Jersey, of course, the hot spot, it looks like it's 91 in Toms River. Toms River, once again, the hottest spot, always is. And it's around 90 in Jersey as well. But the humidity is, like I said, lower than it was yesterday. Looking at the satellite image, you can see these pop-up clouds that are over us, basically pop-up cumulus clouds that are over us that are you can actually see. Well, it can't really get a higher resolution satellite than that, but you can actually see like what looks like a sea breeze front actually trying to develop across the island. So maybe the South Shore is a little cooler. If we go back to, let me go back to this. Did I close that? Yeah, no, let me go back to this. So let's see if we can get some more observations on here. So yeah, it is somewhat cooler. Not that much cooler on the South Shore. It's 90 in Wantaw, so not really. It's just cooler in Suffolk County for whatever reason. But it's still pretty hot out there. It's not a great day to be walking around. Still hot and not dry enough to not feel that heat. That's for sure. So we'll go to the Storm Prediction Center, and you will see that they have us in a marginal risk for tomorrow. And we're going to take a look at that severe weather threat. I'm going to look at the models. We'll start off with the upper air, I guess. And here says the GFS. See that trough? That's what's going to be causing the severe weather. It's going to bring a cool front through. So the dew points will drop on Tuesday, and temperatures will drop a little bit. Then the ridge builds back for the later part of the week, and then we're just dealing with that ridge. But it looks like another trough tries to develop as we get toward next weekend, perhaps. So it's not terrible, but we have to deal with a little bit of a ridge in the east. We'll look at the Euro. It's probably just the same idea, but we'll go ahead and look at it anyway. There's that trough moving through, and there's the ridge. So we're going to have to deal with some heat next as we go into the weekend. You'll see into next week. So I'll put this back to GFS. We'll look at the surface. So you see all the surface features. And there's that trough, that low that comes through. Then we have a high build in, bring us some decent weather for Tuesday into Wednesday, and then at high moves offshore, so things get hotter and more humid again. And then you can see you got that Western Atlantic ridge there that's kind of set up, and we have to deal with a couple of stall fronts there. But you can clearly see that ridge. There it is. So it's not going to be great. Not going to be great. So take a closer look at our area. We'll look at the temperatures. So as we go into tomorrow, you'll see it's going to be hot, but I think it'll be maybe a little cooler just because of the south wind. But the humidity will come back up. We'll look at the humidity, and then Tuesday we drop into with temperatures still in the low to mid 80s, but the dew point should drop on that day. Wednesday looks a little bit cooler there. It's a little bit of an onshore flow, perhaps. Maybe a backdoor front. Thursday doesn't look too bad either. And Friday, not that hot yet. I'm surprised. So it doesn't really start heating up until the weekend, and then we start seeing the heat come back with a vengeance. GFS says next Sunday we're going to be well into the 90s. We're going to have some really hot weather. Whether that'll materialize or not, It's still a week away. A little, yeah, just about a week away, but we'll have to see what happens. So we have some periods of heat in here, as you see, but it's not a continuous heat. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Look at the dew points. So here's today. We got a little drier air into the picture today. The humidity comes back tomorrow ahead of that front, but then see what happens Tuesday. Dew points may drop into the 50s. So Tuesday may wind up being a fairly nice day. Probably the best day you're going to get. Dew points still fairly low on Wednesday. Not that high. So we actually, yeah, it looks like a little backdoor front tries to come through there. Then the humidity and the heat come back, as you see, as you head toward the weekend. There's the dew points going well into the 70s again. And I'm not going to go beyond that. So let's go shift over to the skies, I guess. That's what we'll do next. So we have some clouds around today. The GFS didn't show up, but tomorrow we'll have some more. We've got to look at that I know, we got to look at the severe threat. First, let me get through the long range. Tuesday should be a nice day, mostly sunny skies. Wednesday looks like we'll have a few clouds around. Thursday, maybe a few clouds. More clouds on Friday. And then I'm not even going to go beyond that. All right, so now let's go shift over to the NAM 12 kilometer, and we will look at that severe threat for tomorrow with that front coming through. And this looks like the NAM is developing something. We'll just go to the 3 kilometer already. It looks like the NAM is developing some showers actually tonight over New Jersey. Whether that'll actually materialize or not. But the main thing is tomorrow. And it doesn't really look that impressive at all. Just very scattered activity there. Very scattered. So that's very interesting. Alright, we'll look at the HRRR and see. You notice that the dew points weren't that high tomorrow. And that may have something to do with it. This is all I got of the 18Z. But that may have something to do with it. That we have a little too much dry air, and that might cap our severe weather chances for tomorrow, perhaps. I'll go look at Ventus Sky. Look at the Cape. Shift this over to tomorrow. It does have some elevated Cape. But most of it's to the west. This is 2 o'clock. It's still to the west as of 5 o'clock. The potential is there. This is 7 or 8 o'clock. The potential is there. This is what the precipitation forecast looks like from the HRRR. You can see it's not really generating a lot of widespread activity. This is using the HRRR, by the way. So it's not really generating a widespread activity, at least not over Long Island. But the potential is there for some thunderstorms, and some of them could be severe. Like I said, the Storm Prediction Center has us in a marginal risk, so keep that in mind. And I guess that'll bring this weather update to an end. Take care, and thank you for watching.